We have Kevin Holland back on the show. He was scheduled to fight this Saturday at UFC London against Jack Marshman, but as you know by now, the event has officially been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Kevin, how are you, man? I wish we were talking about something better.
Ah, man. I mean, I'm good. You know what I mean? Dealing with the Rona out here, but it's all right.
The Obviously, this is a bummer. You're training for a fight, and then it's canceled due to something that is completely out of your control. It's a rough
Yeah.
situation for a lot of people right now. I guess my first question is, when were you aware that this event was not going to happen in London? How close were you to getting on an airplane?
I was supposed to leave Monday night. Uh, Woke up Monday morning. Flight was off. So I wasn't, you know what I mean? I had hours before I had to get to the airport, but it was the simple fact that, like, we kind of knew the whole week that there's a big chance it's going to be scrapped, but you just had to keep training. You just had to keep going. So that was weird, but it was cool.
I'm sure like throughout the week you're like, all right, we're just waiting for this news to drop. But then the UFC goes ahead with that card in Brasilia on Saturday, and they go through the whole event with an empty arena. At that point, did you feel like, maybe this can get salvaged after all?
Yeah, so the whole time I was staying optimistic. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, UFC makes stuff happen. That's one thing you can say about them for sure. They make it happen. They get the job done. So it's like when Dana was pretty stuck on making it happen, I was like, look, Dana's saying it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And then you have people hitting me up like, yo, I don't think you're gonna be able to fight. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. And I'm like, man, until the boss says no, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stay ready. So that was the goal. You know what I mean? We were looking at other options on how to get there. If they started closing down, regular flights. We had a couple people at the gym that had jets that maybe they were down to take the trip, get a free UFC ticket, even though we knew they weren't going to be able to get no fans in there. But, maybe work a cornerman spot or whatever we had to do, to get the job done. But ultimately, there was nothing that we could do, and there's couldn't control it. So just had to go how we had to go. It sucks.
Once they sort of canceled London, they tried, like you said, Dana and the UFC. They're trying to keep this event together somehow. They're trying to find spots in the U.S. I guess Oklahoma City or somewhere in
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma
Yeah,
was a
I had an
spot.
insight about that. I was really happy because I'm right here in Texas. So when they said Oklahoma, I was like, bet I can drive my car there. I can have a good time. I ain't gotta hop on a plane. I was thinking of all the positives. I mean, didn't get negative until literally, until we realized not gonna be able to make it. Then start stressing like, what are we gonna do about cash? What are we gonna do for the next couple of weeks? When are we gonna fight again? Ultimately, when am I gonna fight again? And it's like I want to beat the crap out of somebody. And it's like I lost the last one. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back in the winners column. So it's like ultimately that's the only thing that sucks. Not being able to go out there and publicly assassinate somebody. But who knows? Might be in a purge. Woohoo!
Was once they were talking about OKC and talking about moving to the US, were there any other opponents discussed for you? Were there anything sort of lining
I
up?
didn't
Because I
care.
saw all these fights are getting canceled.
I didn't care. I was down to cut the extra 15 pounds and take the main event spot if I needed to. You know what I mean? It was like whatever we had to do for the show to go on. That's what I was down to do. And it's like I'll walk around at 196 pounds, so it wouldn't have been that bad. It's like I'm down. Whatever the case was, I was down. You know what I mean? Some bum off the street, let's scrap. Hightail, best guy, one of the best guys in the UFC, let's scrap. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was down. Whoever, whenever, let's do it.
I think the question everyone has right now, and if you've been on Twitter at all and on social media over the last week, this is the question you're probably expected to get is now that the events are being canceled, how is the UFC handling it in regards to you guys and gals, the fighters? Like from your perspective, has there been any conversations between you, your management team, and the UFC about getting compensated, even though the fight got canceled? Like any show money, anything that you're aware of on that end?
Yeah, I mean, so we talked about it a little bit, right? So my talked about it with the management, talked about it with the coaches. I'm not really in contact with the UFC like that. Leave it up to the manager. We talked about it a little bit, but ultimately, like me and my grandpa had a conversation about it, and I was like, look, man, this is the thing. We're independently contracted at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Yeah, we fight for the UFC. This is awesome. This is one of the greatest things ever. But at the end of the day, we're still independently contracted. So it's like, and my grandpa understands this because he owns his own business. So it's like they tell you that you're going to have a job, but if this job gets canceled, you still expect to get paid something? No, it's not the way it goes. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like the Bellator event where they all stepped on the scale and then they got paid. It's like we never got on the scale. We never made it to the event. Now there was a few people that traveled to London and then had to come back. And if they got some money, I would understand that because they did travel and then they traveled back. But you already got your per diem and your flight was paid for. So it's like at the end of the day, you know, save your money better. You know, it's like I'm not big on saving my cash, but it's like, yeah, it's just the way it is. And then everybody wants to get paid from the UFC, but it's like a lot of you guys have managers. You know, how good is your management company? Your management company should be able to put a couple dollars in your pocket right now. If they can't do that, then you probably want to jump ship. Come with my company. We're better.
Do you feel like you will start saving your money a little bit more? Because you just admitted that you're not great with saving it. Do you think you'll save it more after all this has happened? Because you just never know what's gonna transpire these days.
No.
No.
No. No. At the end of the day, I'm still a martial artist and I've only lost to 5 people. You know what I mean? So it's like, so far as I'm concerned, there's 5 people in the world that could beat me. So when things get real, protect your shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care how much you got and what you got. It's like, if it really gets that bad, it's going to go down to what? Who can do what? So, no, I'm not going to start saving money. I'm going to keep spending it the way I've been spending it. I like my car fast. I like jewelry. You know, it's like, I like my lifestyle. I'm not changing it. You know, it's like, should I probably change it? Yeah. Not going to change it.
what's your mentality now when it comes to, COVID-19, the coronavirus, how it's being handled, etc.? Like, how are you handling all of it? Is it crazy?
Red Dawn. I'm thinking,
Red Dawn.
You ever seen that movie Red Dawn?
It's been a while, man.
Yeah. With the high school kids and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, man, I hope it doesn't turn into Red Dawn. No, so it's like, yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm like, I hope it doesn't turn into nothing like that. But ultimately, my son's in Vegas, so I'm probably gonna hit the road and drive out there, get closer to my kid. You know, my grandparents they raised me. My grandparents are in California, so just be a little bit closer to them and stuff like that. So yeah, just be a little closer to the family. Other than that, I mean, it is what it is. I can't control anything.
The last time we saw you was in Boston. I know how much fighting at the Garden sort of meant to you because of your relationships with your family and talking about the Celtics-Laker rivalry. Was walking out to the Garden everything you sort of expected it to be? Did you get a chance to look up at the rafters and just sort of take it all in?
Yeah, I mean, it was dope. I was going through some personal stuff that happened last second, but I mean, he say, she say, right? It was ultimately it was a great experience. One day it'll happen again, and it'll happen the right way. You know what I mean? I won't just split the guy open. I'll finish the job.
One thing you said during that fight week, I believe it was to the great James Lynch, was that, and you mentioned it with the Woodley opportunity potentially, is that you were contemplating a move to 170. Is that something that you're still thinking about? Is that in the cards?
Yeah, that's still in the cards. It's still definitely in the cards to move to 170. But it's like I'm a stubborn guy, so I got to smoke somebody at 85 before I go down to 70. You know what I mean? I just can't leave that trail unblazed.
You're probably ready to fight anybody at this point, whether it's Marshman or not. Is there anybody that sort of sticks out if the UFC called you and said, "Hey, to make it up to you, let's give you a fight that you want right now"? What do you want?
A fight that I want? Nah, man. Only fight I want is rematches. You know what I mean? Other than that, take whatever. Let's be real here, though. You know, with travel bans and stuff like that, who knows when they're lifted? So you have to fight somebody that's going to be in the U.S. more than likely next time a card comes around, right? Unless they got pulled like Khabib has, and if he has to travel somewhere, he'd be able to travel. No big deal. So I have to look at somebody who would be in the U.S. I know Marvin Vettori when he was on his way back. I know he was on his way back from London. He got back. We were both supposed to be on the same card. His opponent got scratched. My opponent got scratched. We're both in the U.S. I like Marvin Vettori. I met him at the UFC PI. I hung out with him a little bit at Nate Diaz's return, UFC LA. You know what I mean? It was good. You know what I mean? I can't remember exactly what pay-per-view that was, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm stood next to him. I'm the taller guy. He's the buffer guy. I'm the longer guy. He's probably the stronger guy. See who fights better. You know what I mean? That's what it's boiling down to. So whatever it is, I'll take it. And I know he would like a fight like that. You know what I mean? When I'm on my A's and P's, I have that same body style as Stylebender, and I know he wants to get back to that Stylebender matchup. So I know he likes fights like that. So let's see where he matches. Let's see where he is.
Yeah, I think that's a good fight. What did you think of that Stylebender Yoel Romero fight?
Like he said, get you a man that can do both, right? Put on a good fight and put on a boring fight. He did both. I feel him 100% with saying Yoel should have came at him harder. But, dude, dude, Yo was staying so far back. I understand he's explosive. We're tall. We're long fighters. He was touching the leg. He threw up a few head kicks. He didn't start getting active until pretty much like the fourth, and you know what I mean? Got a little more active and stuff. I just wish he would have did that a little bit sooner. They looked at each other a lot in that first round, and it's like, I never start that slow, ever. Look at all my fights. It's impossible for me. I want to fight. You know what I mean? It's like they can say what they want to say about me, but I come to fight every time. So yeah, that was pretty boring to me.
So what are these next few weeks going to be like for you? I mean, we got nothing. We just got to go outside and like do what we can and hang out. But I mean, in terms of watching the NBA and watching sports and just all that stuff that we regularly do, it's not really there anymore. Sports. So what are you going to do with yourself?
I don't watch sports. I play video games. So
you don't watch sports at all?
Nah, not really. Unless it's fights. So yeah, I don't really watch a lot of basketball. You know, when Kobe stopped playing, I stopped watching. Football, never really been the biggest football fans. I don't know nothing about no soccer. Baseball, just not that entertaining to me. You know, it's like I love sports. I love participating in sports, but watching sports, I just never really been that big on it. You know, right. I was out here in Texas, you know, in DFW, you know, Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's a Cowboys fan. Sunday, they would watch the Cowboys game, and I'd go outside and start the log splitter and start cutting wood on purpose. Piss them all off. I don't watch sports, you know. So, yeah, I'll be playing video games, probably trying to get some streaming or something going. I mean, I don't know, you know. And I washed my hands earlier, so you guys see me touch my face. It's okay.
There you go. What's the game of choice right now? What should we play?
I'm a Call of Duty fanatic, so I'm on Call of Duty. I need to go get the new one. So once I get the newest one that just came out, I'll be good to go. 2 Call of Duties. They're both pretty up to date. I'll be happy. I'll be good. Shoot. That's all I want to do.
Maybe we're preparing for something here, so maybe
you know, long as the gun's like a controller, I'm good to go.
It's always great catching up with you, Kevin. I wish we were talking about Saturday and your big fight, but this is unfortunately where we're at right now. It is what it is, but
it's okay. Hey, tell Marshman if he plays video games, I play video games. We can settle it out. He chooses his character on UFC. I choose my character on UFC. We can still fight on Saturday. We can stream it for the fans. Let's go.
That's what's up. That's a great idea.
That's why they need to put all the UFC fighters on a video game. We could have been still having our fight this weekend.
That is a great point. That's the best point I've heard all day. Absolutely. I love it.
Put me in the game, baby. EA Sports.
Let's get it. Before we let you go, man, let the folks know how they can find you on social media. Shout outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, man. Floor is yours.
Hey, guys, follow me on social media, Trailblaze2 top. Trailblaze 2, the number 2, top. Follow me there. And yeah, look, just do it like this right here. You know what I mean? Follow me right there. Follow me right there. All right? Yeah. And then I'll give all my sponsors a shout out on there. And I'm going to be bored for 3 weeks. So if you guys see a lot of crazy stuff, it's my fault.
There you go. All the best to you, Kevin. Stay healthy. Keep washing those hands. Hopefully we see you back in there fighting sooner rather than later.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.